everyone, Sam here, and today we're making my favorite maple glazed salmon. Couple things I love about today's recipe. One, it comes together so fast. If you are tight on time on an easy weeknight dinner, this is it. Number two, it tastes absolutely gourmet. This is the kind of thing you would get from a restaurant and then you would order it again every time you go back. For this recipe, you're going to need 1 pound of salmon. My salmon has skin on it. If yours does too, I'm going to show you how to remove that. Actually, I'm not going to be the one to do it. I have a seafood expert in the house. My husband worked in seafood for, I don't know, like 6 years or something. He always smelled kind of fishy on our dates. So we're going to put that expertise to use and he is going to show you how to skin a salmon today. Zach? Is this your YouTube debut?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to stand uncomfortably close to you because I want to make sure the microphone picks everything up.
Okay, is my makeup okay?
You look great.
All right, good. Okay, sharp knife. This is not a fillet knife. Feel free to comment on that all you want. We're gonna cut backwards to give me a little bit of space to put the knife in there and hold on to the skin. And then just slide the knife right underneath, holding onto the skin. And beautiful.
Great, awesome. Okay, you're dismissed. Okay, I feel like I learned something. I never skin a salmon, that is his job. So our salmon's already been patted dry. Now we are going to season it with some salt and pepper. I guess some pepper and salt. And I'm going to cut this into 2 pieces. And we have a couple more things to prep before we head over to the stovetop. This is only going to take a second, which is what I love about this dish. Grab yourself a measuring cup and add 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup. Please do not use pancake syrup for this. You will be so disappointed if you do. To this, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Now, it's kind of funny that Zach was in this video because this is actually the first dish he ever cooked for me back when we were teenagers. He made me a maple glazed salmon. It was the first time I ever ate salmon. It was amazing. And then after we got married, we had this on weekly rotation. We never had a recipe, so I just recently wrote it down. Now, when he made this dish for me, he always included 2 ingredients. One was jalapeno and one was pineapple. The flavors work amazing with the maple. So I include them in my recipe, though you do not have to in yours, but come on, you really, really, really should at least try it. So I'm adding 2 tablespoons of finely chopped, I wouldn't say minced, but finely chopped jalapeno. Fresh jalapeno, and there are no seeds in there because I don't want this to be too spicy. The pineapple we're not going to be adding until later, so don't think I forgot about it. We're also adding 2 teaspoons of minced garlic and 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. Now whisk this together until everything is nicely combined. Well, it's not going to be nicely combined because we've got garlic and jalapeno floating around in there, but you want everything else to be nice and uniform in appearance. All right, now we can head over to the stovetop and we can get started. I like to use a 10-inch skillet, and since we're going to be briefly broiling this, you want to make sure this is oven proof. Now I'm going to set this over medium heat, and I'm going to add that syrup mixture that we just mixed up. I'm going to let this cook for about a minute or 2 until the glaze has slightly warmed. Don't touch it to see if it's warmed, that's how you burn yourself. I'll just hold my hand over the glaze and make sure that I feel a little bit of warmth emanating from it. Swirl it, make sure everything's getting nicely distributed. I love this dish because it's one pan, everything comes together so fast, it's really so easy and it tastes so good. All right, this is looking pretty good. It's actually even starting to bubble, which I'm not ready for that, but we can go ahead and add our salmon. We add this skin side down. I guess there's really no skin anymore. And salmon cooks pretty quickly. So we're going to cook it on the stovetop first for a couple minutes. Really, this only takes about 5, 6, maybe 7 minutes. And while it's cooking, we're going to periodically be scraping or stirring the sauce a little bit, and we're going to be spooning the sauce over the salmon. This is going to give it so much flavor. Now the sauce is going to seem thin right now, but after we broil it, it's going to become a nice, sticky, beautiful glaze. Space that a little bit further apart. This is so good. It smells amazing. And because it's such a brief amount of time on the stove, I'm kind of drizzling it with glaze constantly, but it doesn't need to be a constant thing. Just make sure you do it periodically, at least several times before you broil. And as I'm cooking it, I can see the salmon becoming more and more opaque, which is how you know it's cooking. You probably can't see it on camera, but the opaqueness rises to the top, which makes sense because we're cooking it in a skillet. And then we'll switch to the broiler where the top gets finished. And again, the glaze gets nice and sticky. The jalapeno may get a little bit charred, which is nice. And of course, I haven't forgotten about our pineapple. Let's hope I don't forget about our pineapple. And that gets nicely cooked too. We have so much flavor going on here. And it's so easy. What is this, like a 15-minute meal? Okay, this has been cooking for about 6 minutes. It's looking beautiful. I don't have a spoon rest, bummer. But before it goes in the oven, we're going to add our pineapple. I have a cup of fresh pineapple here, just cut into, I guess they're called chunks. Kind of hate that word. And we're just going to arrange these around our salmon. You can put some on top too. Again, just adds to the flavor. I'm going to take this over to the broiler where it's going to finish cooking through. If you're using cast iron like I am, it's going to be hot, so grab your oven mitts. A quick note, if you have the same oven that I do, I typically broil 1 rack higher. It just wasn't possible for me to show you the salmon in the oven if I did it this way. Now, one thing that I personally like to do is after it's been broiling for about a minute, maybe even 2 minutes, I'll pull it out and I will use a spoon to ladle that glaze over the surface again, just one more time. You could get away without doing this, but this extra step just helps create that nice, thick, gorgeous layer of glaze. And the salmon is finished baking once the glaze has thickened a bit and when it flakes easily with a fork, which this one will do. I hate to ruin the presentation, but yeah, that's done. You could also use an instant read thermometer to test if it's done. All right, now typically I will serve this over rice, often with a side of broccoli, but today I'm just eating this for lunch as is. And that's what's great about it, is it really is pretty complete just like this. Now my glaze would have thickened slightly more if I had used my higher up shelf, but it's still thickened nicely. And I like it because I would have a little bit of extra sauce for my rice if I were serving this on rice. If you enjoyed this one pan quick and easy dinner, I have a couple other you would like as well. Definitely check out my chicken and rice soup or some of my other savory recipes. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. This is hot, but I cannot wait. It's a pineapple. Oh, so good.